Hello again, everybody. There's Mary Hall. How you doing, Mary?
Hi guys, I'm doing good.
I see you got the Mandalorian. That's pretty cool.
Yes, I do.
All right. So my name is Dale DuFay. Been paying around this way. I don't want to show you the other side just yet, but that's. Hang on. There we go. That's where we did what we did yesterday.
Yeah.
So what is that? Look at here. Look at here. Hang on. We're gonna come. There we go. Floor joists, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Would you say there's 16 of them we got up yesterday?
The whole half is done.
And to show you how we did it up here at the ledger, is we replaced the ledger board, original ledger board, where it was rotten right there, and we kept the rest of it, the rest of the ledger board, because it's holding up the wall. It's the only thing holding up the wall. So we cladded over it with a 2x8 all the way down, and then in between each floor joist we put a 2x8 bridge essentially. And the reason being is it makes it a lot easier to fasten. You can fasten directly into the, that's 14.5-inch piece, and then instead of toenailing into the ledger board. So it makes it a lot stronger, and then it essentially triples it up there, which we're probably going to do on this end. Well, this is going to wind up being tripled up here. See how it just kind of caught the wall there. We're going to check it for square. We brought a piece of plywood we're going to lay right here in the corner, a whole 4x8 piece of paneling actually. And the reason we're using that is because they're manufactured perfectly square. So we're going to lay it here on the, as though it's going to be the subfloor, which of course it's not. But that'll show true square because we didn't fasten any of the joists on the header yet. And the reason being is so we can move it side to side to square it up. And right now I think we've pretty much got it, but the plywood will tell the true story of the paneling. And then once it's squared up, we'll fasten it on the header, and there too we'll use a bridge. See how we bridged it in the center? Which is, that's a really good way to bridge with a solid piece. It keeps it vertical and square, and everything's just right on, as opposed to crisscrossing, 1x2s, which is acceptable, but this is better. So we bridged it in 3 spots essentially, at the ledger, at the center, and then at the header. Which of course we haven't done yet because we're going to square it up first. And then over here on this end, excuse me, we stopped here at this ledger board, the outside ledger. We're going to put that in, and then we're going to essentially go all the way across with that, of course, and triple it up. And then the reason that the ledger it's not really needed to support the wall. Of course it is. But the reason the wall is just suspended and hanging there, even though pieces were falling out of it yesterday, remember that? But anyway, it's being held to get up by the 2 opposing walls. That wall and this one is holding up this wall. So we're going to triple up the header there, and and then when we build a new wall, it'll have something solid to set on.
Right.
Obviously.
It's falling out.
So we're going to start here today, get this triple ledger board up. Maybe just double. I don't know how. We'll see how it goes. Probably triple it because it makes it a lot easier to put the subfloor on and all kinds of stuff. Gives you a lot of nailing surface, plus a lot of support, of course. But again, it's not triple is like overkill. We had a contractor come in yesterday and saying that, in a complimentary way, was saying that it's overkill.
But I think he thought, because he saw that corner over there, and I think he thought it was tripled up all the way down.
Yeah.
But you can't tell.
Yeah, well, which it is. It's tripled,
Yeah.
essentially.
There's one over
The
there.
original one, and then the one over it, and then replaced wherever. And then the bridging makes it look like it's tripled up. But see how much of the surface is sitting on top of the cinder block wall? And see how we mortared in the top plate, and it's nice and level and everything. So it gives it it's like 8 inches wide surface. And then periodically we put these vertical, not for support, but we did it to hold the styrofoam tight against the wall. See that? Isn't that nice? And so periodically we put the 2x4s to hold the styrofoam in. So it's going to be really cool. And then we may, you know, even though the triple wood is has a pretty good R value, we still may insulate between the joists with the styrofoam. We may or may not. We'll see. Even though, like I said, the triple is adequate. So, you know, we have to prep this side. See how the original ledger's there holding up the wall. We're going to clad over it. And then we even been notching out the ledger board here so it fits tight against the top plate. And so, we, you know, in fact, we have a piece here somewhere, I think, right? No? But anyway, it works out really good. Well, I thought I had a piece here that we dadoed out. But we're going to have to do that here on this side as well. Yeah, I don't think I did. We had like a 4-foot piece left over somewhere. It's somewhere. But anyway, look at how much we got done yesterday. This is the 51st video, which essentially means we've been here basically 2 months. Look at all this work that little old Mary and I got done. Oh, there it is. See how we dadoed that out? See that? And as Mary can demonstrate, she can put it over it. Go ahead and put it on there. And, you know, that's, boom. See that?
It's right on there.
Isn't that cool? So that's what we do. And what's neat is our stuff is a little bit lower than the original, which is good because we can slip the plywood up underneath that wall plate. And, you know, again, all this plaster is coming off these walls. We're getting rid of all of it. And the plaster lath and the insulation and everything is all being replaced. So that's not going to be done until we have a nice, secure floor. That's right. So, but boy, right here, you can't get any sounder than this. You know, again, when I finish this video, we're going to go in the back, you know, get the piece of paneling and lay it in this corner, and that'll show true square. And believe it or not, this whole floor will move in unison. You know, we just grab it in the center here and move it side to side any, you know, inch if we need to, or because believe it or not, it's, you know, you could take a framing square and get it square that way, like, you know, this framing square here, and, you know, you can get it close, but it's never right on. It's this plywoods, you know, tells the truth, because their plywood is perfectly square manufactured that way. So we're going to lay it on there and square it up as necessary. In other words, the end of the plywood should be dead center on the end joist that it winds up on, and then perfectly, you know, flush along the edge of this one. So because we did do 16 on center from here, you know, so everyone's 16 inches on center, and then the plywood end about here, but it's got to be dead center of the joist. So we don't want to be custom cutting any pieces in the subfloor, you know, because it happens if you don't get it right. That's what you wind up doing. But if you get it right and then everything from the get-go, then the subfloor goes on. You know, the only cuts you need to make is at the end, you know, where you need to cut off the you know, and then of course we're going to stagger each row of the subfloor. And that can't be done until the guys, they're coming. I guess he's getting another estimate on the duct work, but all the heating, duct work, and everything's got to be done, and all the you know, electrical and plumbing and all that good stuff's got to be all done after the floor joists, and we can't put the subfloor on at all until all that stuff's done. We'll have some plywood laying down so we can walk on and stuff, because we don't want to be straddling these joists.
Right.
It's kind of dangerous. I've been doing that now, but I always have to make sure I hold on to something like the wall or something first. But we're just excited, you know, that we got all this done yesterday. Took us, what, 5 hours to do all this? And, you know, it went real well. It took us forever to get this first piece on. We had to do 3 attempts to get it's always hard to get started. The getting started is always the most difficult, and it's gotta be perfect, because, you know, I can just either go over there or zoom in. Let me zoom in. But see how, you know, perfect we got everything there? And that has to be just right. And then once you go, you know, everything falls into place. And the
Speeders are already making their
yeah,
home.
they're making, they're setting up shop. They're loving the brand new joist, believe me. but you know, everything is really, really sound and ready to go. Believe me, it's really nice. So, is there anything else you want to say? This is going on 10 minutes, but then we did do a lot yesterday.
I want to say, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and stay safe, and I love you guys.
All right. So with that, we thank you for watching, and we'll talk at you later. Love you.